Okay. So I've just been chatting with the people who are here in the meditation, and so now saying hello and welcome to everybody in Zoom land. I was just flipping through, and I won't show it again, but Vinny the horse is out there munching away at the wall of Bramble. So it seems very appropriate. After this, I'll go out and I'll take some pictures of him. Because it's all just in bloom right now, no berries, but all in bloom. So I was flipping through my own, oh yeah, it's like I can't see myself. It's my own sketchbook by Karen Cater. And this is the image for Bramble. So this is MUIN, which is Bramble or vine. I think it is, what is it that, is it interchangeably? I'll double check that, but one of them is not native to the British Isles, and so, or like kind of came with the Romans, so it might have changed at a certain time. But that reminded me that Karen Cater, so she's got a website, headinghamfair.co.uk. So HEDINGHAMFAIR, Headingham Fair.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
Can you see it?
So it's HEADING.
No, just HED.
Just HED.
HEDINGHAMFAIR.
Okay.
.co.uk. It has got so many amazing things on that site, and she's having a sale right now. So she is the one, I've got them here. I bought the full set of her own cards. And so after the meditation, I write what my meditation was, and then I glue it into my Soul Alchemist journal at that point. So I ordered those off of her. Thank you, Shaw.
Yeah, thanks, Shaw. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Oh, I need to spend more money.
Oh, I know. And I got this from her too, since we're chatting. I should have shown this in the last Om meditation. This is my little wassail cup. It's got the little apple on it. So I have that there. That's from her site as well. It's fabulous. So, oh, the other thing I wanted to show as well, I have it here. Yeah, let me just see. Oh my goodness. Oh, isn't that funny? We were just kind of talking about this a little bit. So the other book that I really, really like a lot for imagery, there's a lot of books that I like for all of the information and the research, but this one, the Celtic Lunar Zodiac, you know, I know some people, it's having your feelings that you may have about the legitimacy of the Celtic zodiac is fine, but we do know that the Ogham is you know, sort of grounded in that relationship with the trees. And so even outside of looking at it from a zodiac perspective, just looking at it from an Ogham perspective, this is the image for MUIN. Just beautiful, beautiful images. So this is by Helena Patterson. So to start, we'll get some music. I will invite you to get into the comfortable space, your meditative space. And I will start by reading from the Celtic Tree Calendar poem cycle by Beryl Bagent. Guide you into the meditation, and when I come out, I will close with bathing in the phase breath. There's always a poem in there as well. So few other things to do here. Share screen. And here's our Bramble. So, just starting to bring your awareness to your breath. And this poem for Bramble, Vine, which reflects the 10th moon in the Graves approach, starts with a quote or a snippet of a poem from Walt Whitman. I believe a leaf of grass is no less than the journey work of the stars, and the running blackberry would adorn the parlors of heaven. Seems reflective of that Helena Patterson image. Out of the 10th month of blackberry vine, and for a myriad seasons, your molecules have circled around, along, within these mauve-blessed bramble paths in the muffled privacy of your sylvan valley. To recreate yourself, you venture into the thickest, the most impenetrable depths. You have inspired mellifluous maturity and distilled a poetry of peace and abundance, allowing senses to open, myopia to drop away beneath this dragon moon of exhilaration. And dressed in 6 colors that flaunt your variegated mien, you harvest succulent samples as the primal beats of coursing sap and juicy berries of memory stain your words' rhythms and echo in leaf-veiled places where foxes sequester until their next prophetic manifestation. And brambled groves cloak your secrets in the ice green spring, in mellow summer, in multicolored fall, and fit a carpet for your meeting with the Morrigan beneath the blazing Catherine wheel of the year. And in this vintage season, you unwind, uncoil, as though moving through a labyrinth of Celtic mysteries, never tripping or stumbling over prickly branches. You willingly meander from center to outward gazing fringe, and like wise women of old, bring back a benediction to your hill of musing to heal the macrocosm through the intricacies of your lyrical soul. So breathe into that place of bramble, that thicket of bramble. Open yourselves to the energies of MUIN and allow this Ogham tree to speak to you, to whisper its wisdoms to you. Allow the journey to unfold. So start to bring your awareness back to your breath. And just take another moment connecting with Bramble, with MUIN, and be open to any takeaway messages or insights. As you start to follow your breath, following the exhale of your breath to bring you back to the here and now. And slowly feel yourself coming back to conscious awareness. I just opened Bathing in the Phase Breath, and it says, MUIN is allowing dreams to manifest in our waking world and sounding the first note of the third acme, the first note of our harvesting autumn. And stop share. And just before I end the recording, so welcome back everybody from the meditation, from connecting with MUIN. I am still recording. If you want to, you're welcome to be on screen, but if you don't want to be if you don't want to be. So I'll just share a bit, and then if anybody in who's here as well wants to share, you're welcome to before I end the recording. But I like to just give a little bit of a snippet of share for people who are listening to the recording. I found this very interesting this time. I mean, I do have to admit I was going into meditation, but also I was like peeking out at Vinny a little bit, watching him nibble at all the brambles. And I'm finding these OM meditations very interesting this time around, because I think it's the first time that I've had such access to the trees themselves. We've got bramble growing in the backyard. It drives George crazy. He's like, oh my God, the bramble has taken over the backyard again. We have to keep cutting it back and cutting it back. And it's feisty. Like it burrowed right down into, we've got some like just covering for, you know, the concrete part. And I had to, like, it just got right in there. It's tenacious. So there certainly were aspects of just the quality of the tree itself, which, you know, it sort of covers the whole wall. It's very thick. It's very lush. It almost feels like, you know, if it was unchecked, it would like just, there'd be a lot of encroaching. But also it has this such dual nature, you know, it's got fairly big thorns. I have to put on like the big gloves to cut it back because it hurts. It really gets you. In fact, actually just coming in, we were out for a bit of a walk, and just coming in before I came up here, and you know, George just has cuts all along his ankles because he was wearing ankle socks and he went through a patch of bramble, you know, so there's always that. But then just the lush harvest of it, you know, all of the berries, and again, I know in the fall coming out here, it was surprising to me, but it's just what happens is, because all that whole wall is just going to be a mass of brambleberries, and you'll see, you know, moms and kids with bowls before dinner, going out, picking them all, coming in, and you know what they're having for dessert. It's like, it's just, there's such an abundance. And so there was that dual nature that you know, it came to me this time as a figure. It felt like a bramble fairy that was sitting on top of the wall, and there was like a youthfulness to it, like a almost an impishness to it, to the energy of it. Um, but there was also something that could feel like it could move into a place of overwhelm. So needing to have this steadying energy when connecting with the bramble, because it was like it could be a kid that would like, I want all the candy, right? And that's a beautiful energy, but it's almost like the thorns kind of allow for a bit of a um, putting a little bit of the brakes on. So that was the sense that I had with working with Bramble this time. Did anyone else want to share before I end with a poem? Morgan, you're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
I'm muted. I don't know if I felt anything specific, but I got a little teary.
Mm. Okay. So interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there is that, I really got this sense of, you know, I'll share here that, you know, I'm journeying with some lovely ladies in the duat. We're going we're going through the Egyptian Book of the Dead on a weekly basis, and it felt like that. It actually felt like what we're looking at right now, that there is this shadow and light. There is this beautiful abundance and the lushness and the gift and the harvest and the generosity of life. But there's also this pain, this sharpness, that which cuts, and it can cut deep and it can cut continually, you know, depending on how you approach it. So, and it's not about eliminating one for the other. It's about how do we find the way of being able to recognize that they are both present. They're both a part of what we are weaving. And so I don't know if that is at all sort of what is behind the tears, but there is that part of it with Bramble as well.
There's been a lot of, since Tuesday morning, a lot going on in here. I've worked with Carriagewin a little bit, and I've got one message from her while I was working with her, and then another message from her when I was just sitting here trying to mind my own business.
All right. Yeah.
It's like, oh, excuse me, by the way. So, you know, there's been a lot of stuff going on this week.
Mm.
I keep thinking collage, but it's a jumble at the
Yeah.
moment. To really
Again,
separate.
how Bramble is that?
Yeah.
Right? Very brambly.
Yes. And that's how it feels, just all intertwined, and I can't really separate what my
Yeah.
thoughts are because everything's just, you know.
Yeah. And it's interesting because actually Tuesday was the first day of Bramble. That should have been the day that Bramble started.
Oh, right, because we were here and then
Yeah. 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 So it seems right in the thick of it. Interesting too, like I always find like this flow from tree to tree because we've moved from apple, and apple there's like a crisp, there's a clarity that it's healing, and there's abundance there, but it's just very, it almost feels like focused in the way that it supports us, whereas bramble is just like all over the place.
and if you're not careful, it's going to cut you.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of like nettle, because nettle will do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it absolutely will. My experience, because of course there's nettle in that wall as well, and and I've done that, going to reach for Vinny and hitting the nettle. Um, that nettle cuts like little tick 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 tick. It's like irritating, but bramble is like like it gets you.
I don't know if I've ever seen any.
I will take pictures and post them.
Okay,
Yeah,
that'd be great.
because they're all in bloom right now. They're all out there in bloom. So, um, okay, I will I will end with reading the little MUIN poem from Bathing in the Fae's Breath. Oh, yes. That's the other whole thing too with Vine. It's truly is this polarization, because it can be about, it's like the with vine, grapes, wine, it can be about the intoxication, that which moves us into unconsciousness, or it can be about the wine, the sacred wine that opens us up to spirit. So there's really this dual nature to it. So it says, wine is the blood that holds us together through storms or drought. It's always fair weather. A man and woman cannot copulate when airs of strife and hatred holds. When truth is not naked and still, unwrapped from fables openly told. Into our glasses, as essence from those isles afar, splashes of cinnamon, citrus, and oak, nice legs, they say, forming on our jar. Together we toast what will unite us from vines, waters from our wells that nature combines, joins together our blood for unity, we say. Water to wine is what joins us today. Resist, gods of winds, resist, gods of fire, for with wine it's always fair weather when we are together. In thy fats our cares be drowned, with thy grapes our hairs be crowned. Cup us till the world go round. Cup us, and the world will go around. And it says the last verse of the poem are lines from William and Shakespeare's Antony and Cleopatra. So again, this union of opposites, union of opposites, union of opposites seems to be coming up again and again with this.
That was great, Tiffany.
Awesome.
I needed that today. Thank you.
Yeah. God, thank you. I'm going to say goodbye to everybody in Zoom land. Yeah, I was going to end with a picture, but I think I've shown both of the pictures. So we will see you. I can't remember when the next one is. I think it's probably about 10 days away, but I will post about it. And may your days of Bramble lean more towards the sweet, abundant, spirit-filled days than the sharp, spiky ones.
Sounds good.
So I'm going to end the recording.